My name is Mike Ryder. I am a solutions architect here at N2WS. And in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to integrate any additional AWS accounts that have resources you want to add to the CPM console to backup. It's not necessary to deploy servers on every single account. You can utilize any accounts that you want and integrate them directly right into this single pane of glass just by doing this. So the way you're going to do this is you're going to go to you're going to add an account. So we're going to be doing AWS. So this name, it could be a friendly name, whatever you like to name it, just to know which AWS account that it is, and account type. So we're going to stick with backup. We do have a DR option, but this backup means that this is going to be an account that we want to back up resources. And then authentication. So this is where we really want to focus on. So this N2WS instance IAM role. So this is not going to be the option that you're going to use for any secondary accounts. This is really only for the account that's housing the CPM console. This assume role, this is really the option that you want to use. And I'll be showing you that. And you can also use an IAM user and their permissions. That is highly not recommended just because it's less secure and it could be possible that those users' permissions change and it could interfere with your operations. So assume role is really where you want to go, and that's what I'm going to be showing you how to use. So when you select this, you're going to see a couple fields here. The account number, so this is going to be the secondary account number, and the name of the role that we're going to assume. So in that regard, that's what we're going to do first. So we're going to go over to IAM, and this is going to be on your secondary AWS account, right? So we're going to create a role. So we're going to create it just like we did on the initial account holding the CPM. We're going to create some policies with the JSON permissions that we provide. And we have a KB article that gives you the steps on how to do this and the permissions that you need, which is going to be this attachment right here. So you click on this, you're going to download it. And it's going to open up a file, a zip file that's going to contain all these different JSON files. So it just depends on which license tier you purchased. So it could be advanced. Either way, we're going to create 3 files, right? Or 3 policies. So, and we're going to use all 3 of these files. So if you're using an advanced license, we're going to use these. If you're using an enterprise or enterprise plus, you're going to use these. That you're going to be using a free version that's very limited. But then in here standard, which is our lowest paid tier. So that's what you're going to be using. That's your license. Okay, so say for example, I have an advanced license. So I want to open this file here. And open with, and any text editor is really fine. Just open it with Word here. And here's my JSON template. So I'm just going to go select all and copy. And that's this. Go back to policies. I'm going to create a policy. I'm going to go select the JSON tab up here. Clear this out. And then paste in those JSON permissions. Next. And then I'm going to give it a name. I usually just use like an N2WS1 or anything that you really want to use. It could be CPM, it could be N2WS Advanced 1, whatever you prefer. It doesn't matter. And then any description that you would like to put in. And then you're going to come down and you're going to create the policy. And you're going to do that for a new policy for Advanced 2 and a new policy for Advanced 3. So once that's done, cancel this because I already have one set up. You have all your policies configured. You're going to come in and you're going to create a role. So I'm going to go to create role. It's going to be an AWS service. And which service do I want to use? It's going to be EC2. And you have all these different options, but EC2 right here, it's all you really need. So you're going to click next. You're going to come in. I'm going to do a search for N2WS. Okay, so here are my policies that I want to use, and I can click next, and then that's all set up. And then I'm going to give it a name. And so this will be N2WS role, which I already have one set up like that. So I'm going to just cancel this for now. But this is what you would do when you would create role. So now the only difference here, here's my N2WS role. Now, when you're creating that role, before you click create, you're going to go to trust relationship. So this is going to be the only difference between the role that you configure for the initial account and for the CPM instance, and then any secondary account. So we need to establish a trust relationship between the secondary account back to the primary account where the CPM console is held. So what I want to do is edit this trust policy. And the way I want it to look, I'm going to add a line in here, and this is what it's going to look like. So we're going to change a little bit in here, and we're going to add this line in right here. Okay. So what this is going to be right here is the AWS account ID of the assuming account. So that's going to be the account that's holding the CPM console, the primary account. And then the name of the role is going to be the role on your CPM server. It's attached to your CPM server. So you just go back to your CPM server, and we can do that right now. Here's my N2WS server here. AWS. So we're going to go to security. That second to load. Come on, there it is. So this is the IAM role that we want to use there. So I will copy this, come back to the trust policy. So I've already copied in my primary AWS account number. And then now I'm just going to overwrite this right here. And that's it. And then you would click update policy and save it, and you're done. So once that's done, cancel that. Sorry, give me 1 second. Yeah, anyway, sorry. Yeah, and that's it. Right. So then once that's done, you're going to come back in here. You're going to input this is going to be the secondary account number. So not the primary account number that we just used for that secondary IAM role. This is going to be the secondary account ID. And then the name of the role that we just created here on the secondary account. And you would just input that. This external ID, that's only if you created a specific type of role that uses an external ID. If not, if we did it the way we just did it, you're not going to even use this. So you can just leave it blank. And then the assuming account, it's usually going to be the root account, right? The primary account. So we're going to do that here. And we always want to make sure capture network environments is here. And then scan resources. So if we leave this blank, it's going to automatically reach out and you're going to be able to access any of the resources on that target account in order to back up automatically. Now, if you're using tags, then that's a different story and that's a different video. But we don't want to be, if you're using tags, we want to make sure this is checked. And then, which regions you're using. So any regions you have any resources located, and then which resource types. Right. So if you're using DynamoDB, you want to make sure that's checked. If EC2, obviously, it could be RDS. Anything that we support, you want to make sure that those are all checked off there in order to be able to run a scan for those tags. But again, that's a different video. We'll get to that then. And that's it. You just save this. Once that's done, you'll see your new account listed here. It should say AWS. It's a backup account. It's assuming whatever role that you assigned, and you start building policies. So that's it. Easy. And I hope this was helpful. And thank you for using N2WS.